Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. I hope you all had a fantastic weekend. We are back to the working week. Woohoo! How you doing, guys? I hope you're well. I am in different surroundings today. I moved into my sister's last night for a week because she is on holiday. All right for some, isn't it? And I have been lumbered, I would say, in looking after their cat, who is extremely old and extremely loud. I mean, loud. This is a cat that 10 years ago, 15, she's like nearly 20 years old now. So she's getting on, which is why I'm here because I've got to make sure, I've got to carry her to places is mental. Um, that 15 years ago, when I stayed when my sister went on holiday, would chuck itself at the bedroom window to try and get in. I used to leave it out at night because it would just meow the entire time and is very loud. Would just chuck itself kamikaze at the window to let you know I'm coming in. It's my house. It is what it is. So I'm here looking after my sisters for a week. So I'm hoping it all works well. Um, and yeah, how you doing? It's Monday. It's Monday morning. We are at the start of the week. Hopefully things are going to happen for Tottenham this week in the transfer market. We have got a few bits and bobs to talk about. Obviously, we have England Argentina on Wednesday. So plenty going on, plenty to talk about. And we will get into it, guys. Please, before I bring the chat up, do me a favor. Please smash a like and hit that subscribe button as you come in. If you're new, hit that like, though. It is so important. The more likes, the more you get pushed out to possible new viewers. Let's say hello to the chat. It is going quickly already. I'm half asleep. I've got to be honest. I slept terrible last night. Always sleep badly when I started and sleep in someone else's house or a hotel. The first night I always sleep badly. And especially as me and my sister at Christmas, we always do a thing at Christmas where we get the families together, always at my sister's house. And yeah, this last Christmas gone, we decided to tell ghost stories, and she was saying, "I'm sure my house is haunted," and I've always thought it was. And now I'm staying there for a week, so woohoo! Great news for me. So yeah, I didn't sleep well last night. Every little bang, I was like, "What was that? What was that?" But yeah, there you go. There you go. Let's bring the chat in. Good morning, chat. It is all about you guys, as I always say. I feel like I'm a little bit behind on what I'm moving, but hopefully it's working okay. The first in is Cookie, all the way from Benidorm. How you doing, Cookie? He says, morning, Nigel. Hope you're good, mate. I'm good, buddy. I hope you are too. Kate says, Nigel, good morning. Weather's dropped off. Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. It's starting to cool down a little bit. Um, yeah, too much for me. Too much for me. I don't mind a bit of heat. Don't mind a bit of sun. Um, but when it's constant, it's not nice. But listen, had the fans on last night, so it's all good. And yet the weather is dropping off, thankfully. Katie says hello to Cookie and Sheriff and to Pete as well and to Logan. So everyone's saying hello to each other. Kate getting all the hellos in early. Um, Cookie saying, is Spence going nice? Maybe to Forest, or could it be Bergvall? Well, let's get into that, mate. Let's get into it straight away. And it is Bergvall. Bergvall's the one being linked with a move to Forest. This is what's been said about it. And it is Tottenham Forest and Nottingham Forest have opened Tottenham Forest, Tottenham Hotspur and Nottingham Forest have opened talks for Lucas Bergvall. A deal will be difficult as Spurs are not actively looking to offload the Swedish international, but there is an understanding that Tottenham will let him go for the right price. What do we make of this, guys? For me, Forest were linked with him earlier on in the window, weren't they? And nothing really happened there. If they want him, as far as I'm concerned, fine, you can have him. But you got to pay the money, right? You got to pay up, and he's going to cost the best part of 50 million for me if you want to take Bergvall away. And we're not going to make it easy for you because you screwed us up over Morgan Gibbs White last summer. So listen, let's see what happens there. But Bergvall is being linked with Nottingham Forest. But at Nottingham Forest, we're being linked to a certain player as well, and it isn't. It isn't the one we'd be expecting. Of course, it is Neco Williams, who is linked to a move to Spurs. Apparently, Spurs have made a formal approach, should I say? Not no bid, no offer has been made, but a formal approach to see how Forest feel about maybe selling Neco Williams to Spurs. Do we need him? Is he a player that you look at and you think, okay, yeah, he improves us? I'm not sure he is, to be honest with you. I'm not sure he's any better than what we have, but apparently Spurs are interested. So we will see what happens there. Maybe it's a Neco Williams thing. Apparently he's after a new contract. Maybe he's looking to get his name out there with other clubs to maybe get a new contract at Forest. We will see. It's going to be an interesting one to see what happens there. But Spurs allegedly interested in Neco Williams. And of course Forest interested in Bergvall. Guys, drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Bergvall, yes. Would you sell him? And Williams, would you take him at Tottenham? Um, Logan's in. Said morning, Nige, and the chat. Big up, everyone. We're going to get a bomber this week, but not the bomber we were hoping for. Prove me wrong, Spurs. Oh, what are we talking here, Logan? Are we talking a big bomber? Are we talking a teeny tiny bomber? Um, yeah. What bomber and what bomber do you want and you hoping for? For me, I want to see that left winger now come in, that striker come in. So let's see what happens. I change my mind every day, guys. I don't know whether you're the same. Every single day I wake up and I'm like, I don't fancy him anymore. I rather have him. Or, there's strikers that actually I did want him. I don't now. Maybe I want this one more. I just don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna have to trust De Zerbi on what he wants because like I say, my mind changes every day with who I'd rather in that left wing, who I'd rather as a striker. Um, I'd still love another midfielder to come in, but probably not going to happen. We will see. We will see. Logan says morning to Kate. Rodney's in as always. Big up, Rodney. Says big up to all. Come on, you Spurs. And Pete Chambers is in as always. Much love, Pete. Says morning, nice mate. Big up to the Pure Coys and the fantastic chat. Absolutely. How's the hangover now, Pete? Are you good? I can't believe you had a hangover pretty much all day yesterday. That's what happens, see, when you drink and watch England. And that is why I was on the water because I'm sad. There you go. Marianne's in saying good morning, Nige, and all in the chat. Hope all are well. Listen, I'm speaking for myself, Marianne. I'm tired, but I'm good. I hope you're good too. And I'm sure the chat are absolutely fantastic. But big up to you, Marianne, and Pete saying good morning to Kate. Kate saying, Logan, I'm well. Everyone talking to each other. Absolutely love it. Going to get through the chat. See who else is in. Jimmy's in. Big up, Nigel in the chat. Good morning. Big up to you, Jimmy. I hope you're well. Jimmy, who do you want to see on that left-hand side? Who do you want to see in those forward areas? What would be your team for next season? If you could pick your side now, what's your team going into next season if we had that left winger, if we had that striker? And guys in the chat, let me know what your team would be. Hearing Vicario really hasn't got many suitors at the moment. Is he going to stick around for a third and be third, fourth choice? I don't see it. Are we going to would a loan deal be good for Vicario? If we can't sell him, put him out on loan with an option or an obligation somewhere. I'm not sure. I think some of our players we are going to have to do that with because I'm not sure that some of our players are as good as what we think they are and they think they are. So we will see what happens going forward. Guys, nearly 50 of you in here, 10 minutes in. Please smash that like, hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much. Getting through the chat, everyone's speaking to each other. I love the community. I love the Pure Coys community, the Two Marks community. It's just everyone talking to each other and absolutely love that. Marianne said good morning to Kate. Jane's in. Jane says morning, Nigel. All in the chat. Just dropped in to give you a like. As off out. We'll watch later. Big up to you, Jane. Have a fantastic day. And yeah, no doubt I will see you in the WhatsApp chat later on. Just going down through the chat. George is in. Big up, George. Says, I'm not against selling Bergvall, potential or not. There is loads of other players that should follow him out the door. This squad needs reshaping ASAP. Big up to you, George. I'm totally in agreement, mate. I've got to say, listen, it's all about a rebuild now. And I think we have to all agree we are in a rebuild. This is not, many times you get into a summer and you're like, it's not a rebuild. We've got the basis of a really good team. But we just need to add bits and bobs to it. Just need to add a bit of squad depth. I think now, after two 17th place finishes, with a new manager in charge, I think is 100% a squad rebuild. There is a lot to do. It's not going to happen in one window, but I am confident. I am confident we will get rid of the players we need to get rid of. And if Bergvall's one of them, then so be it. So be it. It looks like Vuskovic is going to complete his move to Brighton today. So another one gone. Huge potential, but we need now. We need now. Brilliant buying for the future. But this is why you buy for the future, right? You buy for the future in the hope that if a player is going to become a good player or you think is going to become a good player, if they're not going to make it at your club, you can sell them for value. So Spurs are doing absolutely the right thing. Vuskovic for 50 million. If we were to get 50 million for Bergvall as well, we've literally laid out about 20 million and got 100 million pound back. That, my friends, is very good business from Tottenham Hotspur. So we will see what happens. Jimmy says Spence has made a big impact at the World Cup. Why would we want to sell him? Make it make sense. I'll be honest, Jimmy. Big up to you, mate. I don't think he's been that great. I think he was good the other night against Norway when he come on. His best game for England, without a shadow of a doubt. And he did okay in the 5-10 minutes he come on in the game with Mexico. Other than that, I thought he's been poor in the World Cup. I got to be honest. And listen, I think De Zerbi has his players he likes and maybe players he doesn't, and maybe he thinks that Spence is a bit too casual, maybe. Listen, I like Spence. I think he's a decent player, but he can come across as very like he doesn't give a shit. You know what I mean? And maybe De Zerbi wants his players actually. I need to know you are 100% on board, and if you're only 80%, if you're only 90%, you're gone. Um, I don't know. I'm literally spitballing, but that's kind of what I would think. Maybe he doesn't see Spence in his plans because he doesn't trust him. But we will see. Lightning for football. Big up to you, mate. Not seen you in here before. Says Coys. What a time to be a Tottenham supporter. What a time to lose your voice as well. Big up to you, Lightning for football. Yeah, I agree, mate. It's exciting, isn't it? It's exciting. It's exciting times being a Spurs fan at the moment. I'm loving every minute of it. It's great to do content. It's great to talk football with you guys. And listen, we've got the most exciting bit to come for me, buying that striker, buying that left winger. For me, the attacking players are what makes the club exciting. For me personally, um, I'm all about going forward. I'm all about attacking. So let's see what happens. Scotty M's in. Big up, Scott. I hope you're well, mate. And he says, because Spence isn't any good. Simple. Listen, I'm kind of agree and disagree. I think Spence is a decent player. Just if we could get the Spence week in, week out that England had for that 20-minute cameo against Norway, fantastic. Sadly, I don't think we get that enough. So I think it's probably attitude, and that would be why maybe De Zerbi is looking to offload him. Listen, he's not gone yet, so we will see what happens. He may not go at all, and who knows? Listen, if Spence has a really good rest of the World Cup, if he comes in against Argentina and is brilliant and does the same in the final, if we get there, who knows? If De Zerbi doesn't want him, we can get a bigger price for him, and maybe De Zerbi then looks at him and thinks, actually, I could use you. But we will see. We will see. Scott Colliver's in. Big up, Scott. Says hello, Nige and chat. Good morning to you, Scott. I hope you're well, mate. And Pagey's in as well, channel member. Morning, peeps. Good morning to you, Pagey. I hope you're well. Drula's in. Drula la says good morning, Nige and the chat. Good morning to you, Drula. I hope you're well. And Scotty M says Spence was awful when he started against DRC, and twice has been passed over to play centre backs out of position. This is true. This is true. I think we have got a bit of short memoryism sometimes. We do go on the last game, and listen, there's no doubt Spence come on against Norway and played really well. But I do think he's had a poor World Cup so far. We will see. We will see. Pete says could make a pussy joke, but I won't. I mean, it would be typically you, Pete, wouldn't it? It would be typically you. It wouldn't be Pete. It wouldn't be a Pete day if he isn't giving us some innuendo. Um, you dirty old man. But it is what it is. Scott says, I don't believe the Bergvall Spence Williams rumours because they are far too good to be true. Scott, I saw you in the chat last night. So you think Williams is better than any of the fullbacks we got, right? Apart from Porro, maybe. But Spence, a doggy, Robertson, you think Williams pisses all over him? I don't know. I'm not sure I agree with that. But listen, it's all about opinions, and this is what we're here for. Kate says, "Oh, I wouldn't sell Bergvall to Forest. Other clubs want him, don't like their owner. This is why I'd like to screw them over a little bit more. We can get 50, 60, 65 million for a Bergvall, maybe get 50 million with a 20% buy on, sell on fee clause. That would be fantastic business for Tottenham. Tottenham are all about the sell on value at the moment. So let's see. Let's see what we do. Lightning for Football says Spence is our best English fullback. That I agree with. That I agree with, Lightning. I see what you've done there. We talking Spurs here. For Spurs, he is our best English fullback without a shadow of a doubt. Astra's in. Said morning, everyone. Good morning to you, Astra. I hope you are well. And Scotty M says, if we also sold a doggy, that would be a dream come true. Sadly, I don't think a doggy's going anywhere. I think he stays. But we will see. We will see. Guys, if you haven't, please do us a favour. 66 in the house. Is that an omen? Last time we won the World Cup? Oh my God, it could be. England for the World Cup. Get your bets on now. 66 in the house. Please smash that like. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Andrew's in. Said morning, nice. Good morning, Andrew. I hope you are well, mate. And Scotty M says Spence is our only English fullback. Absolutely. Absolutely. Which makes him the best by default, of course. Andrew saying good morning to Cookie, and Lightning of Football said that's why he's our best English fullback. Rabbit Man's in saying freezing in Tasmania in Oz. What? Oh, I mean, what kind of freezing are we talking about? Are we talking about actually freezing where there's a frost on the floor? Floor. Or are we talking like, oh, it's only like 16 degrees? I don't know. Big up to you, Rabbit Man. I hope you're well. And Tottenham Therapy's in. And how you doing, mate? It says, big up, Nige and chat. I hope you're good. I'm good. I'm good, mate. I hope you are too. Guys, if you haven't, get over to Tottenham Therapy. Give him a sub. Give him a sub. Sheriff is in. Good morning, Sheriff. Says, morning, Nige. I'm hard at work already. Fair play to you, buddy. Fair play to you. Gotta be done. I will be going straight after this show. In fact, that's not true. I will be grabbing a quick coffee first, and then I'll be going. Golden Sun's in, saying, come on, you Spurs, as always. Big up to you, Golden Sun. Come on, you Spurs, indeed. And Kate says, Nige, is Cat House cat? If not, shove her out the door then. Oh, listen, I can't do anything. I've got a list of things that I've got to do and things I cannot do. One of the things I cannot do is let the cat out because it's old and it is what it is. I've got to keep my beady eyes on it the entire time. And I've got to say, like I say, I haven't got pets. So it's different for me. You sleep in someone else's house with pets and you're not used to their way and constant meowing. It woke up like 3 or 4 times last night and it was meow. And it's just like you're driving me nuts. But listen, it's only a week. I'm sure we will get through. But big up to you, Kate. The Stoics in saying, morning, Nige. It's another Scorchio day in Galway. Big up, mate. Big up to you, the Stoic. Always in, always supportive, always commenting. Absolutely top bloke. And Logan says, big up to the Sheriff. George says, I think Bergvall with Forest and Newcastle are all the time bids, none. Listen, we will see Newcastle having a bit of a shit show, aren't they, at the moment? They've lost a couple of their biggest stars in Gordon and Tonali, of course. Woohoo! Bruno Guimaraes wants to leave, and now this striker they thought they'd got doesn't look like he's joining, does it? It looks like he is going to Aston Villa, which is crazy. You know, bet Villa fans are not. I'm not disappointed about that. Pete says was worried about you, Sheriff. Can't remember you posting anything yesterday, mate. He was at the pub. He was at the pub, and it was a meat draw, no doubt. Sheriff, did you win in the meat draw? Let us know. Razzle says, "Morning, Nige. Hope you are good. Good morning to you, Razzle. I'm very good, mate. Apart from being tired, excellent, excellent. Channel's growing, fantastically well at the moment. So really pleased with everything, and it's all thanks to you guys. Like I say, you guys don't come in the room. I've got an empty room to talk to, so it's all thanks to you guys in the chat. But big up to you, Razzle. One of the ever presents, one of the OGs. Big love to you, mate. Lightning for football says 100 million um, minimum for Bergvall. I mean, if it's Forest, yeah, sure. Listen, I wouldn't have a problem with getting rid of him for 40 million if Spurs could get the money for him and invest it into players that are going to come straight into this Spurs team. I wouldn't have a problem with that at all. For me, he's not good enough at the moment, and I would be looking. I'd be looking to sell. Kate says, "Done my nines. Nines don't have to ask. I know. I know. Can always count on you guys that are here regularly to hit those likes. Really do appreciate it. But you just got to keep reminding people. I've got to say, how many times, and I'm on YouTube. How many times I'm sat there watching a YouTube show, and I'm like, this is all right. Watching it with a cup of tea, and then they'll be like, oh, smash a like, and I'll be like, have I liked? And I look and I'm like, oh shit, I haven't. I've been watching it an hour and I hadn't even liked it. So you just got to keep reminding people. Rabbit Man says, sorry, brought that up and took it down. -2 in the afternoon. Balls have turned blue. Look like blueberries. That is cold. That is cold. But I tell you what, I can't wait for it to get a little bit nippier here in England, just so I can stick my hoodie back on. I'm definitely a hoodie guy. So yeah, always shorts, but hoodie and shorts that's the way I roll. It's the way I roll, I think. Gotta wear shorts in the day to work, especially. Tottenham Therapy says, let them have Bergvall and give us Morgan Gibbs White. I'd love Morgan Gibbs White, but gotta say, I think that deal seems to be dead in the water now, doesn't it? It doesn't seem like it's gonna happen. But we will see going forward. Sheriff said, Pete, I was ill and hanging. That's not good, mate. That's not good. Well, you wasn't at the pub then, or at the meat draw. I was totally and utterly wrong about that. Sheriff, give me a text about next week. And Pete, give me a text about next week. Let's arrange something. Andrew saying good morning to Sheriff. Kate said, Nige, what is the shadow behind you? Wow. um, don't, Kate, don't. Pete says, say, mate, me, I was hanging, absolutely. I want to sack the ball, says Lucas Bergvall, plus a Zempic for Morgan Gibbs White. Listen, I love Morgan Gibbs White, love Morgan Gibbs White. But I just don't think it's going to happen. Don't think it's going to happen now. We will see. Rabbit Man says Ben Davis speaking to Nico. Maybe, maybe. See, I'm not sure how I'd feel about it. I think Neco Williams is a decent fullback. Actually, I do. I think he's better than where he is. But does he really improve Tottenham massively? I'm not sure. And where does he play? I thought he was a predominantly left-sided fullback, but we've already got two left-sided fullbacks. In fact, we've got three with the young Brazilian kid as well. So would we be interested in bringing him in as a right? I don't know, guys. I don't know. Let me know in the chat. It's for me, it's a weird one. It's a weird link, but listen, it is what it is. George says 50 million for Bergvall. This I got to see. Yeah, we will see. Listen, it would be lovely. It would be lovely. Do you know what? I think Bergvall would actually do really well for us. I think he could take his game to the next level, and maybe in a season's time, we would be like, God, Bergvall's been brilliant for Forest. Why do we sell him? But sometimes players need to move clubs, right? He's not going to get a look in at Tottenham. He's not going to be your first choice. Damn, he's not going to be your second choice midfield. He will be coming in when we are really low on injuries, or when we have a League Cup fixture. He's not going to be your first choice. It's obviously going to be Fernandez and Tonali coming in behind them. is going to be Bergvall, Bentoncourt, and Gallagher. And then you're looking at the Bergvalls, your Greys. So for me, I think is the obvious thing would be to sell him, recoup some of that money, and then maybe if we don't bring anyone this year, maybe next summer then put that money towards another top midfielder and really pack that midfield out with a good squad. I feel like I'm lagging again, which isn't good. Lightning for Football says players we need to bring in is Leao, Savinho, and Krupi. Also Vlahovic on a free. Krupi in the 10, Vlahovic in the strikers of Savinho and Leo as options off the wing. Listen, I'd take that all day long, mate. That would be fantastic. Can I see it happening? Not all four. No, not all four, but I love a Vlahovic. I've spoken my love for Vlahovic. I think he would be a good signing for Tottenham. I really do. But again, he's a different kind of striker. Krupi isn't really your out and out striker, is he? Like you say, he's your number 10. Likes to drive with the ball a little bit. I'm not sure about him either. I'm just not sure in that striker department anymore and that left wing department who I would like. I am literally just going to trust De Zerbi, and for once, I'm going to try and trust Enoch to get it right in those forward areas. We have to, right? We have to. I've said it before. Doesn't matter who we sign in defensive areas, in goal. It doesn't matter who we sign in midfield. If we don't get the forward areas right, we are still not going to score the goals we should be. Rabbit Man says, if we sign Vlahovic, I will get a Moani tattoo. You're not a fan then. You're not a fan, Rabbit. Listen, we will see. We will see. It was only a couple of days ago that Moani was being linked again to Tottenham. Don't see as that as happening, but we will see going forward. William P, big up, mate. Big up. Good to see you in here. Says feeling positive about where we are going, but it won't be overnight. And you're absolutely bang on. And this is what we got to remember. This isn't going to be an overnight fix. It's not. It's really not. This is something that's going to take 2, 3, 4, 5 windows even to get this squad in a position where we can go, right, now we're ready to challenge. It might not even get to that, right? If Enoch or Enoch, there's every chance they do this for one summer and then January we don't sign anyone. And next summer they're like, well, we got the players in we needed. We don't need any more. And they go back out and buy youngsters again. This has to be a continuous thing of constantly backing the manager, whoever that is. But they have to be clever as well. Listen, for me, there's no good going out and just backing a manager blindly. And then the next manager they bring in is a totally different manager to the one we had. And all the players we got were for the last manager, and we have to start again. We have to be clever. We have to make club signings, but clever club signings. And we have to go for a manager that if De Zerbi doesn't work, and I hope he does, but if he doesn't, we have to go for a manager that plays a similar style. We need an identity at Tottenham Hotspur. We have constantly, for the last, what it feels like 20 odd years, just constantly gone from different identities, different philosophies. It is time to get Tottenham's DNA back, time to get the philosophy back, time to get playing football back. And let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Lightning for Football, get in, mate. Saying we are winning the league. And he's shouting it too. It's happening, guys. We will see. We will see. Maybe not next season, Lightning. Maybe not next season, but who knows? In years to come, I've said it before. There are cycles in football. Maybe Tottenham's cycle is coming round. Maybe it's our time. We will see. Lightning for Football says Kinski goalkeeper, left back Robertson, VDV, Van Heck, Porro, Tonali, Fernandez, Krupi, Leao, or Savinho, Vlahovic, right wing Kudus. That's a good side. I still my number 10 is still Maddison for me. Maddis has to get in somewhere. I'm expecting a big season for Maddison this season. I really am. I'm expecting a big season. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. The great thing about football is we've all got a difference of opinion. Guys, there's 80 of you in here. Please smash that like. Hit that subscribe if you are new. Seen a few new faces in there today. So please do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. It really does mean the world. William P says, I like Vic. Too many haters. He was in a terrible team. He is not good enough for next step, but he is passionate about Spurs. That's a fair point. Listen, I think Vic is a shot stopper, and a lot's been said about his shot stopping last season, but he was suffering with an injury for most of the season. You know, when you've got a hernia, it is going to stop you getting down quicker than maybe he would usually. But I would say, for me, he's a goalkeeper that would thrive in other leagues. I think the Premier League, with the being able to kick out from the back, being able to play out from the back, being confident in your box and claiming balls. And I think for me, that's what's really let him down. And that's why I think Kinski's so highly rated, right? Because he is a very calming influence. You know, he comes out, he claims balls. You know, we look at England the other night, you know, as much as Pickford can be stunning at some of his saves, he is terrible. He just he makes the defense nervous, constantly coming out trying to punch when he should catch. And for me, that is what Kinski's good at. Yeah, he comes out, catches the ball, boom, done. Very you know, confident on the ball. Sometimes a bit casual. Sometimes a bit casual. He's got to learn to be a little bit quicker sometimes, but very comfortable. And I like that about Kinski. But William, I get your point with Vic. Listen, he has got too many haters. He was in a terrible team last season. I think for me though, I think he needs to move on. I think it would do him good and Spurs good. But he has been a good servant for Tottenham and helped us win a trophy, and we've got to remember that. Um, Rabbit Man says front four of Nusa Solanke, Savio, Moise Keane. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Noosa, I like. Saw him against England. I thought he impressed me. Likes to cut in. I like that in a winger. So if we got a Noosa, I'd be more than happy. He is a young player that will dip in and out of form. But out of all the left wingers that we're being linked with, I think Noosa's the one at the moment that's grabbing me, thinking, okay, I like that. I like that player. Let's see what happens. Lightning for Football says, what does everyone think of Archie Gray's hair? Is listen, I'm just jealous. I've not got that hair. And like you said, he's going for, you know, they're off to Australia, so he's going for the Australian look. But listen, it is what it is. It's the trouble is when you got wispy like curly hair and it gets longer, he is starting to get the old you know, Kevin Keegan look about him, hasn't he? But I like it. I like him with the blonde tips as well. Yeah, listen, if only to be that young again and be able to experiment with your hair and that kind of thing. My experimental with my hair now is currently, should I just shave it off or should I just hang on to what I got? And I think I might shave it off this week. That's what I might do. But we will see. We will see. Rabbit Man says, I heard FC Porto taking Tau on loan. Really? Where have you heard that? I like it. I like that. I wouldn't say no to that at all. That would be very pleasing for me, I think. And Grant says, big up to you, Grant says, makes me laugh. Our Spurs fans don't want to sell anyone, yet we finished 17th 2 years on the trot. And the players were selling Bergvall, Spence, even Gray. They all played a big part in the 17th. 100%, mate. And this is why, listen, we've all got our favourites in the squad, yeah. I'd be disappointed if we sold Madison. But for me, if we did sell Madison, we move on. Right? We move on. There's other players to come in. You know, no player was bigger than the club. And you're right. These players were in the squad that finished 17th 2 seasons in a row. So I wouldn't have an issue with selling any of them. I really wouldn't. It is what it is. If we have to sell players to make ourselves better long term, then I am absolutely all for it. 100%. Kate said, heard Juve want Vicario. Yeah, I've heard that too. Um, but I think Juve have got a couple of choices, haven't they? And they're kind of umming and ahhing about who they want. So we will see. I think Vicario leaves, doesn't he? It's just whether he leaves permanently or whether he leaves on a loan. We will see. Jimmy says, my starting 11 ideally would be Kinski, Porro, Spence, Van Heck, VDV, Tonali, Fernandez, Madison, Barcola, Thiago, Kudus. What do you think? I like the front line, mate. Barcola, Thiago, and Kudus, I think is a thing of beauty. Madison, yes. My only argument would be Spence. Maybe for me, I would start Robertson. I think Robertson starts for Spurs next season, but listen, we will see what happens. William P says Moise Keane is a bit overrated. One great season in Fiorentina last year, not great. Good backup though. As listen, I'm not gonna pretend I know too much about Moise Kean. I don't watch too much Italian football. I know he had a good season at Fiorentina. Obviously, I didn't realise he didn't have a great season last year. I saw him at Everton, didn't go much on him, but listen, players mature, right, and they get better. I always thought Moise Kean had a bit of an attitude problem. Maybe, I don't know. Again, I'm putting 2 and 2 together, coming up with 8. So, guys, what do you think? Moise Kean, has he got a bit of an attitude problem? Would he be good now in the Premier League? He's been out of it for a couple of years. Would he come back in and be good? I don't know. I don't know about Moise Kean. Grant says Spence hasn't been great. He has come on when teams are tired. He is an athlete, but he does put balls into the box. But does he put balls into the box? Never. Does he get any assists? Never. He dwells on the ball too much. Listen, this is what I love about talking Spurs, right? Is everyone's got a difference of opinion about the same player, and what one thing sees in somebody, another person doesn't. And for me, I'm kind of with you now. Listen, he is an athlete, right? And so many footballers are now. They're athletes. Doggy is an athlete. Doesn't make them great footballers. I think Spence is a decent footballer. I've got to say that. But again, if we can get good money for him, then let's sell him and start again. It is what it is. We are in this rebuild. Stevens in saying, morning, Nige. Let's hope Romero has a worldie against England and increases his value as long as England still win. Yeah. Yeah, listen, what do we think on Romero? Because he is going, another one who's going, being linked with all sorts of teams, being linked with Barcelona currently. Let's bring the Barcelona story up quickly. Saw this yesterday. So Romero linked with Barcelona. Understand Deco has held talks again with the agents of Christian Romero over the last few days. He is a name for Barca. Hansi Flick likes Christian Romero, and Deco believes an agreement can be reached for Spurs for around 50 million euros. Guys, what do we make of that? For me, um, yes, please. I would take that. If we got anywhere near 50 million euros for Romero, I would absolutely bite your hand off. We will see. We will see what happens going forward. Logan says, Nigel, I would like to see players come in who make the team better, whoever it may be. I trust Robert De Zerbi to make the correct decisions. He's done a good job so far. I haven't got huge names in mind right now. This is kind of where I am. There's no one that's standing out to me that, like, get me that player, unless, of course, we're going to go for a Harry Kane. But there's no one really standing out that thinks, yes, he's the one. He is the one. No one else. You know, for me, last season, Morgan Gibbs White was the one. I wanted him. Morgan Gibbs White or Eze when we got linked with him. I'm like, yes, they will make Spurs so much better. Of course, we didn't get any of them. I'd love Morgan Gibbs White now, but I'm not quite sure where he fits in after we bought Fernandez and Tonali. If we're going to buy Morgan Gibbs White, then that's basically saying, Maddison, you're out of the side, and I want to see Maddison next season. So yeah, there's no one that stands out. I'm kind of with you there, Logan. I trust Roberto De Zerbi and the club. That could be a huge mistake to get the decisions right in those forward areas. We will see. Not Lange, not Lange. No, no, don't trust him at all. Lightning for Football says, I'm the same person as Siphon Light. Oh, okay, gotcha. I've just changed my username. Big up to you, mate. Good to see you back in here. And yeah, okay, Lightning for Football. I like it. I like it. It's a good name, and I love Kulu on the pick as well. Billy Andrews says 50 million for Vuskovic and a 20% sell-off he is having, and us having first refusal is a bit of brilliant business. Is fantastic, isn't it, Billy? Really good business. Think about it. If Vuskovic takes off to be this player that we all hope he will be and think he will be, who knows? In 2-3 years' time, Brighton could sell him for 100 million and we get another 20 million. And suddenly we made £70 million on a player who never kicked the ball for us. That for me is brilliant business. Why haven't we been doing that sooner? Doesn't make sense. It is what it is. Rabbit Man says, hope Spain wins the World Cup. Porro deserved to be captain. I don't like Spence. Well, I disagree. I hope England win the World Cup. But listen, I agree. I would put Porro as captain next season for Spurs. I'd like to see how he reacts. I think it could make make him even better than he is. Listen, for me, we all know Porro has his deficiencies defensively, um, but there's no doubt he loves the club, and I just think that extra bit of responsibility will make him a better player. We will see who is captain next season. Guys, who would you have as captain? Let me know in the chat. Spurs Wall says once we get a few attackers, we will be excited. Richie just won't go, unfortunately. I would drop him into the reserves. I listen, Spurs Wall. I'm so with you now. You know, I'm looking at the Spurs play stuff, and I'm looking at players come back to training, and I'm getting excited. I'm like, oh, there's Fernandez, and I'm looking out for Tonali. Can't see him yet. And then they show pictures of Solanke and Richarlison, and I'm like, ugh, it's just the same old shit. It's the same old shit. We really need to improve that front area. If we don't, we're in for another tough season, I think. I really do. Lightning for Football says, I think we're bringing a fullback as well, especially on the left-hand side. Really? See, I think now on the left-hand side, we're stopped with Souza, with Robertson, and with Udogi. But listen, we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting. I think it all is all dependent on Spence leaving, yeah. But we will see. Spurs all says if Spain and England get to the final, we will win. As Spain are average. Have you seen England? Listen, I think our best chance is if we get through to get Spain. But Spain are a decent side too, so it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. This World Cup for me has been too long. And with all these great nations in and all these little nations, it's been fantastic to watch. But you get to the finals, you get to the semis, the big boys are out. Spain, France, England, Argentina. Um, Bring it on. Listen, there's every chance now. Every chance. Bellingham can perform. If Kane can perform, then we've got a chance to win the World Cup. There is no doubt about it. I didn't believe it before. I thought defensively we were a massive problem. But we're in that semi-final. We've got a chance. But we will see what happens. Spurs Raw says sell Doggy too. I wouldn't be against that. Rabbit Man says, I heard Richie running his contract. I'm out to go to Brazil. Listen, I just rip up his contract and let him go. For me, or if he wants to stay, fine, but he's not going to get any first team football. He'll rot in the reserves. It is what it is. Spurs will also get rid of all the players responsible for our relegation form 100%. 100%. And he says, Spurs Rule says Richie needs to be forced out. I agree. He's not going to go. Otherwise, he is too comfortable here. And that for me is half the problem. Collins in, big up Collins, says Borodani's Neco Williams, great boy, better than Doggy. And he played at Liverpool with Robertson. This is true. This is true. Neco Williams, of course, come through the Liverpool ranks. Listen, I wouldn't be against signing him. If we sign him, fantastic. I think he's more of a defensive player. Is he more of a defensive? He is quite good going forward, isn't he? But he's a tough tackling, no nonsense defender who you know is. Let's see what happens. I do think it's a strange one though because we're overstocked on fullbacks at the moment, but we will see. Steven says, big up Steven says, I see we're linked with Neco Williams. I would like him. Very good player. Absolutely. Let's see what happens there with Williams. I want to sack the board, said Romero, and Bergvall should be sold outside the Prem. No more selling to Prem clubs if the other offer is good enough. Maybe. Maybe I don't really care with Bergvall, Romero. So I don't know. I don't really care about either of them if we sell them to Premier League clubs because I don't think either of them are a concern, if that makes sense. I think Romero will still get sent off, whoever he's at. But if we can get 100 million package for both, what a great deal for Spurs that is. Spurs all says Udogi is rubbish and always injured. Get rid. Yeah, listen, I agree with you. He is always injured. He's injured way too much, and I would be up for selling him for sure. Guys, 100 in the house now, please. Keep smashing that like, hitting that subscribe button. Really would appreciate it. Scotty M says Williams at left back, 3 new quality forwards, and I'm getting excited. Even with Kinski in the net. Mate, I'm going to hold you to that. We get Williams and 3 quality forwards. It depends what quality forwards we're talking about, though, right? Scotty M, let me know what 3 quality forwards would you like? Okay, not would you like. What 3 quality forwards would get you excited for next season? Because I want to see Scott excited. I think he deserves it after the shit that he's had to put up with for the last 2 years with Spurs and with the fan base just literally constantly on at him because of his opinion. Scotty, let me know, mate. Absolutely love Scott. Lightning for Football says Udogie has a hamstring, the texture of butter. He does. He does. Rabbit Man says Udogie off to AC Milan. You know what? I think there's a lot of deals to be done over the next couple of months. I really do. I think there's a couple of deals to be done over the next couple of months, but we will see. Kate said, nice. What's behind you is a wall. It is a wall. Um, think. Oh, it's actually this little sofa area with a TV and stuff. I will be playing Xbox on that later, no doubt. I want to start the ball. Said Williams is a Liverpool graduate. Yes, he is. Richard Healy Coffee, big up, mate. Says Spence is just laid back now. He is now an England international. He deserves all the credit he is getting. Listen, maybe that's it. Maybe he is just too cool for school. You know, he's one of those players like the interview did the other night, which was brilliant, by the way. It's just literally, when the interviewer said, have you seen anyone as lethal as Haaland? And Spence just like, yeah, Harry Kane. And he is a cool dude, I've got to say. But listen, hey, it is what it is. Let's see. I think maybe that comes across as having a bad attitude. Maybe listen. Let's see what happens with De Zerbi. Hearing that De Zerbi doesn't fancy him, but we will see. We will see. Big up to you, Richard. Scott says Williams at left back, Leo, Krupi, Savino, and I am saying top four is on. How'd you like that delusion from me? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not keen on Leo or Savino, but listen, it is what it is. It is what it is. If we get those four in, mate, I'm expecting you to be ultra positive for the rest of the season. Mark Taylor's in, saying big up, Scott, and big up to you, Mark Taylor. I hope you're well, mate. And William says, I don't agree. A doggy is very good. Just injured a lot where we're always stretched. Give him a proper preseason with Robertson sharing the load, and he will be great for us. Quite possibly. Quite possibly. Only one game a week. You would hope he wouldn't be injured. But I think we can all agree, right? If he was to get injured again this season, a long-term injury or a 6, 8, 12 week out with a hamstring tear or something, we'd have to be serious about, okay, we need to kind of let this player go because he is out every season with hamstrings, sometimes twice a season. So that's where I am with the doggy. He's a good player, but he's frustrating because he'll play 3, 4, 5 games, get into a run, and by the fourth or fifth game, you're like, okay, he's getting better. And then he's out for 6 weeks. Then he's back. Takes him 3 or 4 games to get up to speed. It's good for a couple of games, then he's out. So for me, I'm just at that point where I'm just like, I don't know. Scotty M saying hello to Mark. Pete saying I'm gonna fry up some streaky bacon for Asani to go along with the show. Nice, mate. Nice. I can smell it now. I can smell it now. It smells good. I'm tempted now. I'm tempted, but I can't. I gotta go to work. Scott M says, Rabbit Man, I pray that happens. And Rabbit Man says, hide the cat in yeah, that would be good, wouldn't it? Hide the cat in the oven, and then my sister comes back. It's like, what have you been doing with the cat? It is what it is. Paul G says, morning, Nige, and the chat. Good morning, G Paul. I hope you're well. And Darth Yeager's in saying Senna Spence is actually crazy. He's better than Porro. Lack of game time has derailed his consistency and development. Faster, better one-on-one defender and attacker. Porro has only has a better delivery. Interesting, really interesting conversation. Listen, I'm struggling to disagree with much of that. I am. It is literally just his attitude, if he has an attitude, right? That's the only thing that concerns me is he going to be a player that's going to run through brick walls for us? Maybe he is. Maybe he is. Like I say, maybe he's one of those players that's just too cool for school, just too casual, just like, yeah, this is life, man. I'm loving it. And why wouldn't you be? He's having a great summer, right? He's having a great summer. Rabbit Man says, will Lancashire off to Middlesbrough? That would be a great move for Lancashire. Get first team football at Borough. Borough will be looking to get in amongst the playoffs, in amongst going up this season. They didn't go up, did they? I'm trying to think who went up from the championship last season. But yeah, Borough definitely didn't. They lost the whole. So listen, we will see. We will see. Borough, I think, will have a good season next season. Stephen says, really hoping we get a striker in before the pre-season tour. Is Dameo still available? God, every summer for about 10 years we linked with this guy. I don't think any of us had really ever seen him play, but by the second year we were all desperate for him to sign, and he never did. Um, it is what it is. The Prez is in. Big up the Prez. I hope you're well, mate. It says, big up, Nige. Big up, Pete. Doesn't Saliba look nice in a French shirt? Listen, Saliba's top player, but yeah, he is. He really is. Lightning for Football says, does Bale want to lace the boots up again for us? He'd still do a job for Tottenham, wouldn't he? Gareth Bale. He really would. He would still do a job for Tottenham. Nanny Audits is in. Big up, Nanny Audits. Says, yes, Pete, all good here. Pete says, morning, Lisa. Hope you're enjoying Spain. Yeah, I hope you're having a good holiday. It looks absolutely lovely. It seems like it's absolutely boiling out there as well, which is fantastic. And the press says show on Sports Centric tonight at 6 p.m. with myself, Queen Ellie, Corey, talking everything World Cup semi-finals. Guys, if you haven't, get over to the press at Sports Centric. Subscribe to his channel. Prez, if you want to put a link in the chat, mate, I will bring it up before the end of the show. Get over to him. Subscribe to his channel. He always talks sense, Prez. Absolutely always talks sense. So get over, subscribe to him, and watch the show later at 6 o'clock. Rabbit Man said, in all honesty, how long will Robert De Zerbi last? This is an interesting one, mate. He could last 5 years. He could last 5 months. We just don't know, right? And this is why I think the club have to be careful and sensible in bringing players in that aren't just his signings. We need some club signings as well, because if he does lose a gasket or, just walk after 5 months, we will be left with all of his signings. It's fine because so far they've been great signings, right? But we have got to be a little bit careful, but let's see what happens. It's going to be an interesting one. Lightning for Football says, Madison, the only thing I'm worried about is his knees, and Xavi apparently back in January. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see anything really from Xavi until really late in the season. I think if he does come back in January, it's going to be, it's going to take him a while to get back up to match fitness. And so I think Xavi aside, I'm going to ignore him for next season. I don't think we're going to see the best of him. Madison, I'm expecting big things. I really am. I'm expecting him to come back bigger, better, and stronger than ever. He's been out of it for a year. He come back right at the end of the season, played a few minutes. He's got the whole preseason now to get fit. I'm expecting big things. I'm expecting big things for sure. Now the audit says no point playing Spence on the left if you want balance. He hasn't got a left foot. This is true. This is true as well. So we need, one of the most important things when watching Spurs for me is balance. And what Doggy gives us on that left-hand side is balance. And I think that's what the likes of Robertson will give us as well. He will give us that balance. And I'm not sure Spence out there gives us that at all. Ghosted is in saying, I'll be there, Perez. Big up. Fair play to you, Ghosted. Get over there at 6 p.m. tonight, guys. Guys, if you haven't, please do me the honor hitting that like button, hitting the subscribe button too. Really would appreciate it. Stephen says, nice. When this window shuts, we have to concentrate on finding a director of football, someone who can give us an identity. We need continuity when managers inevitably leave. 100%. The director of football is so important in a football club, and the fact that we have Lange at the moment, it's just not. It's not right. We need to improve that. 100%. 100%. Going through the chats, I will be stopping very soon. Big up Hassankov says Bergvall and Gray is a definition of hype. 100%. 100%. Rabbit Man says, I think Spurs will finish 7th. I think, listen, for me right now, I think we've got to be looking at a European place, whether that's 7th in Conference League or higher. For me, 7th is the bare minimum we have to be looking at. If we're spending north of £400 million, we have to be looking at getting in to Europe next season, 100%. And Rabbit Man says, Tell agent in Portugal. This is exciting news for me, guys. If Tell is off, If he's going to Portugal, if even if that's a loan deal, it means we have no left-sided players. So that means we have to be looking at bringing in two, right? We have to be looking at bringing in two. For me, that is really exciting. Let's hope this Tau news is true. Maybe Tau is off to Portugal. Maybe he isn't. We will see. But for me, I think, yeah, listen, if Tau goes, we need two left-sided players. And for me, Savinho will definitely be one of them. I think that deal's pretty much done. It's just a question of just getting it, getting it sorted. And then we're looking at another one, whether that's a Liao, whether that's someone else, we will see. Grant says, yeah, Bergvall and Gray hype reminds me of the old Winks and Skip hype our fan base had. We sold them about 2 to 3 years too late, 100%. 100%. Listen, there's still part of me that think Gray I like, but I just don't see him getting football this season with Tottenham. I really don't. Lightning for Football says, I think the best, most underrated signing we actually did was Robertson, as we needed a change in mentality to the squad. 100%, I agree. I think Robertson is a great signing, a fantastic signing. Experience, a leader. He's been there, seen it, and done it. He's won everything. And people saying he's done, he's past it. Bollocks. Sorry, I'm not having it. I'm not having it. He was left out of last season's Liverpool, so I didn't get as many games starting for Liverpool last season. But that wasn't because he's lost it. It's because Liverpool went out and spunked a load of money on Kirkes, who for me hasn't been great either. So I think Robertson would do well for Spurs this season. I think he starts most games. And listen, let's see. Let's see. I may be wrong. It is what it is. Rains in. Said morning, I surely we can start offloading our unwanted players to Newcastle now. Food chain in force. Listen, Newcastle, wow. Like I said earlier, they've sold two of their best players in Gordon and Tonali. Guimaraes wants out. Looks like they're losing out on that young Swiss attacker. Looks like he's off to Aston Villa. Where do they go from here? They are signing youngsters. They are doing what Spurs do, signing young, talented players who might not come to anything. I feel a bit for Newcastle because I do like them as a club. They're always a side that play attractive football, try to play attractive football. And listen, it is what it is. It doesn't matter how much money you got sometimes. If they were in London, they'd be massive. But sadly, they're not. It is what it is. Steven says, I don't really care who we sell except Xavi, as that's only because I just bought a new home top with his name on the back. Fair play to you, Steven. Listen, well, Xavi will not be going anywhere. Obviously, he's injured. Listen, I want to see what Xavi can do in a Spurs shirt because we haven't seen the best of him. Sadly, we're not going to see the best of him next season either. We will see. We will see. Rabbit Man says Tau wants Porto, but Spurs want Sammy in the deal. Oh, I'm not sure about him, guys. Let me know what you think. Again, another player we were after last season. Don't know. He is your out and out striker, though, isn't he? He is your target man. He is a big brute of a striker, quite quick as well. But listen, I'm not sure. He's not proven, and we have been buying proven players this summer. So let's see what happens there, guys. Guys, I am going to pretty much leave it there. I'm going down the chat. I'm going to say hello to people that I've missed. Jess, good morning, Bodger. Good morning to you, Jess. I will text you later. It's been a busy morning. Just going through the chat. Tom's in. Poro for captain. Big up to you, Tom. And Nanny Alder says 100 in, smash your like, absolutely smash your like, guys. We ain't got 100 in now, but it's been a great show. Thank you all so much for joining me. Shem's in as well. Big up to you, Shem. I hope you're well, mate. Saying yes, it looks like, listen, something's happening defensively, but we will see. I'm just going to go through the rest of the chat. I am well behind. Listen, I don't usually get this far behind, but I have been today. Been waffling on. Big up to Corey. Big up to Dexter. He is confident we are going to get Lukaku over the line. Only in your dreams, mate. We will see what happens. But J-Luck's in as well. J-Love's in. Big up to you. Said if you're spending north of 400 million, you should be looking at the league. I'm kind of in agreement with that, mate. I really am, but maybe not after one season. If we spend 400 million this season, we need to get in a position where the following season we can go for the title. We're a bit of a way off that now. But let's see what happens going forward. The Hotspur Hood's in. Big up to you, Danny. I hope you're well, mate. And he says, Robertson, great for a free. 100%. I agree. Listen, mentality, leadership. We lack that in the side, and I'm so pleased we have got it. Guys, I'm going to leave it there. My chat has run out. Have a fantastic day, everyone. I think Hotspur Hood, Danny's on at 10 a.m. So get over to Danny, subscribe to his channel if you haven't. Have a great day, guys. Much love to each and every one of you. And as always, come on, you Spurs.